So I'm going to have a look at some Champions League matches here and do a simple rule for the automation on Champions League. I've already pre-populated the matches I'm interested in here and sorted them by volume, and you can see we're looking at the match odds market. So I need to create a rule, so I'm going to just go to one of these matches, go to the automation and create a new rules file for that selected market. Now the first thing that we're going to do in this market is create a rule to back the draw. So if I do back the draw, place back bet, when do I want to place it? Relative to the event start time. We're going to place it 5 minutes before the event start time. And what I'm going to do is place the bet once. The number of parameters that we need to apply, we're going to go for the best market price, but we're going to use a stake of 500. We don't need any global settings on that. We'll also add in this rule for a safety measure, number of unmatched bets. Number of bets is equal to 0. And then we'll apply that rule. So what this rule will do is go into the market 5 minutes before the start time and place a back bet. And it will place a back bet on the row 1, but what we need to do here is, you can see the draw is always going to be on row 3 on the Betfair screen. So what we're going to say is row 3, and in this case that's going to be the draw. So what we're doing here is we're saying in each one of these markets, if I just apply this and move that out of the way, in fact what I'll do is I'll save that rule. So we will call this trading the draw. I'll just close that down for a second. In each of these markets you can see here that it's ordered in a certain manner: home team, away team, draw, home team, away team, draw, home team, draw, away team. So by using a rule that, if I bring this back up, applies to row 3 in the Betfair order, I'm basically saying that I'm going to back the draw. So that's why we've done back the draw relative to start time event 5 minutes out. Allow the rule to trigger once, and we're going to place the best market price with a stake of £50, and we're just going to check to make sure there's no bets there. So we've opened our position by backing the draw. Now when the match starts, the price of the draw will start to come in. So what we can actually do here is add another rule that basically closes our position for us. So we will say green up, we'll call this element of the rules file, and we're going to say green all selections, and we're going to say relative to the in play time. So on this occasion what we're going to say is green up between 5 or 6 minutes. And the reason that I'm putting this in here is just to pad out. Now BetAngel has to cycle through these markets, so I'm applying a rule here with a bit of space between it. You don't have to do this, but I'm just saying that it's good practice to think through cycle times and so on. But basically when it reaches 5 minutes in play and it comes across one of these markets, it'll go, aha, we're between 5 and 6 minutes, and therefore I'm going to place a green up command in this particular market. So we've created two elements to this rules file. One is to back the draw 5 minutes and then green up 5 minutes into the match itself, and we're going to call that trading the draw. Now what we need to do here is apply this to the market, and to do that we can select individually to apply it to the market, or we can just apply this particular rule we've selected here to all markets, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to back the draw on either of these matches and then green up after 5 minutes. Now people are going to say, well, isn't that risky? You know, what should we do? And should there be some element to this? Well, yes and no. If we're participating on this particular match, your judgment then shifts. If you say, I'm going to arbitrarily green up on the draw after 5 minutes, to do we think there could be a goal within 5 minutes of the start of these matches? And your judgment call there is on how the match is likely to pan out, what incentive there is to score, whether teams are going to defend heavily and try and not concede a goal, and so on. But of course, I'm not suggesting that you use this as an arbitrary rule or select markets at random. You put some logic and thought into it. But basically now we've set up that rule, BetAngel is going to cycle around these markets. At the moment it's cycling at 200 milliseconds, so maybe we'll slow that down to a second. And it will go in to these matches, place a back bet 5 minutes out, and then green up the draw after 5 minutes. Okay, we are just short of 5 minutes before the start of the match, and you can see that on each one of these matches Betfair has gone through and placed that initial bet. If you go to the log, you can actually see a record of exactly what's happened in there as well. So all we need to do now is wait for the match to turn in play. Okay, we're into the match now, and you can see that as we approach 5 minutes into the start time, Betfair is now going through and greening each of these up. You can see we've made a loss here, made a small loss on this market. We're still waiting for this to get greened up. At 5 minutes from the off time, made a small profit on the others, but you can see here that we've managed to put that bet in before the start of the match, and Betfair has automatically greened up after 5 minutes.